China has copied the economic success of the developed countries, even innovated beyond that by far. How does China now not copy the gaps in income, in social justice, in access to basic services that we see in those countries? There is already a gap in China occurring. That's one of the so-called symptoms of success. How does it rein that back in and now create a future which you say should be more balanced and more equal and happy?
I would not say China has copied a system from Western nations. I think what China did by opening up and reform almost 40 years ago is try to take market economy as something China can use, to be combined with what we are very good at it, that is a visible hand by the government. So the two hands, the invisible hand of market and the visible hand of the government, are well matched in China. You can call it the Chinese economic development model. Some people don't like it. But as President Xi has said, what China has achieved by this model or by its developmental road is something maybe for other developing countries not to copy, but as an alternative to see, because in the past, the economic development model, economic growth model is well defined by neoliberalism, for instance, by Washington Consensus. There are a set of ideas, always fixed. It doesn't matter what is your domestic economic development level or what is the economic situation you have. It doesn't matter to them. They'll give you the same formula, same recipe. You have to follow that. You have to follow that. Otherwise, you won't get loan from those countries or even from International Monetary Fund. Facts have proven that model really doesn't work. At least not work universally. So China has tried its own and achieved such a stunning success. It amazed the whole world, or shocked the whole world, that for such a populous socialist country under the leadership of the Communist Party with a very strong government and combined with a market mechanism can achieve so much within such short of time. And you mentioned China also did not forget that social justice is equally important. Otherwise, whatever you are going to do economically, you drive your economy forward, economic growth forward, you will not get popular support. You're going to have a divisive society that builds up anger, builds up frustration, and eventually will disrupt your economic growth. So China's efforts at different level of government nationally to help poor people to have a sustainable development, to eradicate absolute poverty, and even domestically, you have a balanced economic growth. We all know in coastal areas, Shenzhen, Guangdong, Zhejiang, Shanghai, these are more developed, areas in China. But you have less developed areas or regions in China. So internally, there is also a balance you have to make. Fortunately, we have a very strong central government, and that has enjoyed the support by the people. Internally, we can transfer resources. For instance, the tax paid by Shanghai, or the surplus Shanghai has, which can be used by central government to help those poorer areas, to help them maintain what we call lucid water and lush mountains to maintain a healthy ecosystem with a cost. For these regions, they couldn't develop manufacturing from ground zero with contamination and everything, as we did at the very beginning of opening up reform. We cannot follow that. We cannot copy that in these regions. So you have to look at China's economic growth from a national perspective.